to Bits of History. My name is Lee Pileski, President of the Resurrection Bay Historical Society. This bit of history concerns the naming of Seward and is based on an article written by Seward's founder, John Belaine, in the December 5, 1925 Seward Gateway. After the founding of Seward on August 28, 1903, John Belaine, who had picked Resurrection Bay as the seaport for the railroad he planned to build to the interior of Alaska, and who had selected the name Seward for the new town, petitioned the Post Office Department to establish a post office in Seward. The Postal Inspector for Alaska filed a protest against the name Seward, since there are already two Sewards in Alaska, a small mining camp on Lynn Canal and a fishing village on Bristol Bay. Mr. Belaine had another problem with the federal government. The Interior Department had not yet approved the surveyed route for the railroad, and he needed that approval to secure a loan. Mr. Belaine decided to go straight to President Teddy Roosevelt to plead his case. Being a prominent Republican in Washington State and a veteran of the Spanish-American War, he had no trouble in getting an appointment to see the president. Mr. Belaine met with President Roosevelt on the 9th of October, 1903. He told him that the post office had refused to give the name Seward to the post office in his new town, on the grounds that there are already two other Sewards in Alaska. He explained that the great service rendered by Secretary of State William H. Seward in the purchase of Alaska would be better commemorated in the bestowal of his name upon a town likely to become the metropolis of Alaska, and in time one of the important cities of the Pacific Coast, rather than its use to designate a temporary mining camp or a summer fishing village. He also explained the need for the Interior Department to approve the survey for the Alaska Central Railway. Now, to quote directly from Mr. Belaine's article, "The President listened closely, and then looking me straight in the eyes with his characteristic squint through his glasses, he said, 'Write me a letter on each subject in just about the language you have used here, and bring them to me tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. If it is proper for me to endorse them, I will do so.' Promptly at 10 o'clock the next morning, October 10, President Roosevelt came to the door of the anteroom of his office, where I was waiting my turn, and announced, 'Mr. Belaine, good morning, come right in.' Without a word, he read the letter. On the letter regarding the post office, he wrote in the margin in his own hand, 'My dear General Bristow, I heartily agree with the patriotic sentiments expressed by Mr. Belaine, T.R.' The General Bristow referred to was the 4th Assistant Postmaster General, who was the official considering the protest about the name Seward. The President also endorsed the letter regarding the need to approve the railroad survey. Continue with Mr. Belaine's account. As President Roosevelt handed me the letters, he said with a twinkle of a smile, 'I think these endorsements will bring the results you are after.' And they certainly did. In 10 minutes after I had presented the letter to Mr. Bristow, an order was issued establishing a new post office on Resurrection Bay, Alaska, under the name Seward, and Mr. Bristow expressed his emphatic approval of the patriotic sentiments and agreement with the President. At 4 o'clock that day, official approval was given to the survey of the Alaska Central, from the new town of Seward to the Tanana River, where Nanana now stands, over the exact route occupied by the Alaska Railroad. To bring the story up to date, of the 3 Sewards in Alaska in 1903, ours is only one still in existence. In 1978, during Seward's Diamond Jubilee celebration, 7th Avenue, which runs along the beach, was officially renamed Belaine Boulevard in honor of John Belaine. So next time you're walking along or driving on the boulevard, remember John Belaine, who founded and named Seward.